Let's say there's an accident. An elderly lady was hit with a car, and her corpse is in the street, torn apart, with organs all over the floor. Are they going to make pictures of her corpse totally torn apart and put it in newspapers? No, they wouldn't. There are laws against that. Now, there are countries where they used to do that. Put the full traumatic picture in the newspaper. Now, why aren't they doing that? It is what happened. The body is torn apart with organs all over the floor. But no, people are not going to show that in a newspaper and not on mainstream media because that's too shocking for the masses. It's too traumatizing. And because here's the thing, if you overwhelm people with traumatic images over and over again, they become desensitized. And once it becomes desensitized, they won't be shocked anymore by the shocking stuff. And once they're not shocked anymore, some may even consider doing those shocking stuff. So, to keep the public humane, you withhold some grievous images from them. This is something that all media all over the world understands. Now, this is also the reason why, when a tragedy happens, they often don't mention the victims directly. Or, if they mention victims, it's after consulting the relatives. Or if someone was the victim of a crime, they will not share too many details with the public. Why? Because if you share too much details with the public, the perpetrators will be aware what the police knows, and they will be able to bypass the police. That's why in any murder investigation, the police withhold some information. The information you get in the media is just a little bit of information they give to you. Maybe someone was shot, okay? And that's shown in the mainstream media. 28-year-old man was shot and killed. But what they won't tell you is that the type of gun he was shot with was a military gun. They won't tell you that in the newspaper. So anyone who knows it's a military gun has to be involved with the crime somehow. So by not revealing much information, the police is able to figure out who is involved. Now, in both cases, information is hidden. When it comes to newspapers, is to keep the public sane, so the public's not desensitized towards tragedy. And at the other hand, other one, the information is withheld in order to have a leverage in investigation. Or if you're in high school and there's a exam coming, the teacher has to withhold answers to the exam as well as exam questions, or because if he would freely give the exam questions and answers, the purpose of the exam would not be served. That is for you to train the capacity you've been instructed in. So, when people withhold information, it is for a practical, realistic purpose, it's fine. But the moment people withhold information from you, especially crucial information, and there is no justification for it, beware. The reason they don't want you to know certain things is because they know that if you would know those things, you wouldn't put up with what you're putting up with. For example, it can be that you are living in a one-room flat somewhere and you pay like 400 euros a month. But there are also flats for 300 euros available. You can only live for like 6 months, but you can only pay 300 euros. Now, why wouldn't people want you to know about those options? Because now you're paying 400 euros for just one tiny room. And you have to work long hours at your job to do that. Now those that have you at work want you to keep coming back to work. So the moment you are informed that there are cheaper flats and you decide, I'm going to live cheaper, you may realize, okay, but if I can live cheaper, I may as well give up my smartphone subscription, you begin to think, you know what, I can live without a lot of stuff. And before you know it, you're not that much on social media anymore. You don't even watch TV anymore. And once that happens, you'll be able to process things much better. Now you will see society for what it really is. You will awaken. And people don't want you to awaken, so people want you to remain in a stressed environment. So if there's an option that's less stressful, they'll tend to withhold that information from you. For example, let's say that there's this guy who was banned from a town because he was an alleged criminal. And there are many stories about him being banned. And now you are 19 years old, and you're doing journalism as your studies, and you want to know more about this guy that was banned from this town. But when you want to talk to people about it, nobody wants to talk about the guy. Nobody has time. That's weird. When you go into the records of the guy that was banned, you can't find any criminal records of the bad stuff that guy did. Oh, but then you figure out the truth. You find out the truth, what I mean. The truth is that this guy was a believer who walked by faith, and the public tried to siphon his blessings from him. It didn't work, so everyone turned on the guy, and eventually the guy left town. And after the guy left town, people turned on each other because there was still anger in them. Multiple people died. So eventually, they blamed all those multiple deaths on that guy that left. But there was no forensic evidence to convict him, and he wasn't even around when the murders occurred. So, the thing is, the people in that town were so envious and jealous, they ended up killing a few of their own. Now, those people got children, and those children also got children. So 2 generations later, you have this myth of this terrible bandit that used to live there and who left. Now, the grandchildren, so the young people that live there in that town, they know about this bandit that left after a while. But they don't know the truth about who this so-called bandit was, that he wasn't a bandit at all. Their parents and grandparents never told them the truth about who this guy was. Because if the parents and grandparents would have told the truth, the children realize, you guys are very fucked up. You guys are very out of your mind. We can't trust you. Are you guys going to kill us too when you guys are envious and jealous? You get what I'm saying? So, in this case, they withhold information because they know that this information will destroy their good reputation. And that's all something I want you to understand, saints. People will withhold information from you if that information would change how you look at them. Let's say you have someone who is, I would say, he is an English teacher, teaching English online. He doesn't teach it in school. But then you figure out, if this guy is so good at teaching English, why doesn't he just go to a school and teach English before class? He has the certificates to teach English. He's licensed. But then you figure out he has a criminal record. And you think, what did he do? But then you figure out that it was sexual assault somewhere a long time ago. Now, the fact now that you find out that he has a criminal record for sexual assault and that the sexual assault happened to a minor, that changes completely how you look at him and how you feel about him. Suddenly, he's not that handsome, good-looking, well-mannered English teacher anymore. Now he's this creep who managed to keep his secret hidden. So now you feel differently about him. So now you're likely not willing to invite him to parties anymore. You may not even want to associate with him anymore. Even if he's reformed, he's not that bad guy anymore, you're still shocked that he used to be such a bad individual. Listen, some people know very well that you wouldn't even want to be involved with them if you knew who they really were. Not who they used to be, because if someone has a horrible past, but they've repented and they've been redeemed, that's different. But some people are still bad today. Bad people don't want you to know how bad they really are. So they will hold that information from you so that you will see them as good people. Why? Because by you seeing them as good people, you will put up with them. You will excuse their wrong behaviors, and you will assist them. If you would know certain things about them, you would drop them immediately. Maybe you have parents who, when you wanted to go to studies, your parents may have known about some trade schools that you could have attended. Knowing that after attend those trade schools, you may not even need a job. You could start your own business and earn good money. But your parents wanted to keep you dependent on them so that they can uphold the image of the good parent. So your parents caused you to struggle unnecessarily, even though they knew of better options for you. They never even informed or hinted you towards those options. If you figure this out about your parents, are you still going to think, whoa, those are honorable people that raised me well? No. You're going to think these are narcissists that just want to exploit me to maintain their good image. And then you're going to think, what else have they been doing? So, look, there are times God hides who people really are from you just to prevent you from escalating against them. Because sometimes we really get fed up with how people have been deceiving us. So sometimes God, to prevent you from losing it, God withholds from you who people really are. But then there are also times that people withhold from you who they really are. So when you have the feeling as if people are hiding things from you, just go in prayer. Go in prayer, go into decrees and declarations, and let the Holy Spirit reveal to you what's going on. Never ignore the sense that people are hiding something from you, because they are hiding something from you. And if it wasn't something relevant, you wouldn't get this vibration they're hiding something. The fact that you get a vibration that they're hiding something from you, it means that many people are in on it. There are many people in on hiding something from you. Now, why are they hiding it from you? Please don't confront the people directly, because that may lead to explosive situations or explosive conflicts, but just realize when people are hiding things from you and they're in on it, they're hiding it for a reason. There's some type of leverage they have over you that they would lose immediately if you would have known that information. Well, that's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ and be at peace.